Hey, so this is Joe. I'm going to just review what we did last week, and then we're going to pick our own adventure for this week. We're a little late getting started, so if anyone out there in the internet fan base of Peeragogy wants to join,
You're not showing,
find the
Joe.
event page, and there's a link to this Hangout on the event page.
I don't know if it matters, but you're on a screen share.
Yeah, well, this is not the one I wanted, but I do want to be on screen share, so this is what I wanted. Yeah, this is what we did last time, or last couple times actually, and it's been pretty good. Peeragogy Creed or Metacognition Map. So the first time around, we had a big discussion about values, and in our usual style, we had a big discussion about what we were doing. But the main question is, how do we get here? Why are we still here? And we talked about that. And we took notes. I took notes on what people were saying. Blah blah blah. That was really cool. And then really cool is Paula translated this into Spanish. So if you guys haven't seen the Spanish one, Julia, I know you saw it because you commented on it, but you guys have got to check out the Spanish one real quick.
Is it linked on here?
I'm just calling it up now. So here's the Spanish one. Pedagogia de pares y producción colectiva del conocimiento.
Conocimiento, sí.
Yeah, you guys have to help me out here. But I can kind of follow what it says because I'm familiar with it, which is great for learning a little bit of Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this kind of introduction to what we were doing, all the fundamentals, and then some nice pictures, some of our patterns, hoja de ruta, proyecto específico, pretty cool. And then down here, after that, this was the thing I want to show you today, and some of this dialogue, like how did we get here? ¿Por qué utilizas la pedagogia de Pérez? ¿Qué te trajo aquí? What did you get here? And ¿por qué continúas regresando? Why do you continue to stick around? So this was the dialogue. We had Ray, Charlotte, Joe, Doug, and as people come along, Julia added some stuff. As people come along, they can add this and revise it in English or Spanish. But let's switch back to the English one for a second. So then last time we got to this metacognition map, which was basically this part here: potential motivations, potential roles, potential contributions.
Come on.
I think maybe when more people are here, we should spend more time on it. But for now, I think what's really important is to point out that these motivations should connect back to the previous discussion, and let's check that. Did you come here because, like what people are saying, it's also what binds a community. We're not using technology to bind community and strengthen personal connections. Is what we said reflected here, and is what reflected here is what's here reflected in these roles and contributions. And I had some comments there about that. But
can I ask you something?
Yeah, one more thing. But yes, you can ask me first before we go on. Absolutely, please do. Yeah.
Why do we call it the metacognition map? I think that might be confusing for some people.
Oh, absolutely. We called it a metacognition map because people didn't like the creed. They didn't like the word creed. They thought it sounded religious. So.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's sort of jargonistic to call it metacognition. I mean, I love the concept of metacognition, but
yeah. But keep in mind, this is internal document, so we can call it whatever we want. I think when we try to over here, what did Paula call it? Paula called it probably something else. Motivations, contributions, and potential roles.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. So yeah, the problem with this document is certainly it's a work in progress, and it's in no way finished. But the reason we called it, I guess, a metacognition, this specific part, this here, what's up on the page now, the reason we were calling it a metacognition map is that we could sort of say in this one part, like here, like what are people working on, what are people good at, what do we think of ourselves, and how do we locate ourselves in this thing, sort of like a map. So like last time, both me and Paula said we were good at making connections, so we put our names here in purple. And then I was saying, like, what I'd like to be better at would be helping the group get better at doing stuff. And so I put my name there in orange. And all this was very arbitrary. So I was hoping, like, as time goes by, we could just add more, add more names, add more parts, and make it better reflect what we're up to. But then the thing that I thought was really cool that I wanted to point out here is, like, here I copied all those next steps from our pattern catalog. And the plan I thought for today, but I don't think we're going to do it today, was just to kind of say, like, how do we get from this to this, so like, given this whole exercise, and I know you were asking, like, are we doing this all over again? Like, yeah, given what we're good at and what we want to do and what we want to work on and all that kind of stuff, how is someone going to sign up to do this next step which we outlined, or this other next step? And if not, do we need to revise the patterns? Do we need to recruit new people? What do we need to do? So I even though we were flopping around a lot in the beginning, I feel like this exercise could actually really help us get to the rubber hitting the road with our pattern catalog, which would be great. So that's what I was thinking. Those who are here, we're getting more and more people here. Those of the people that are here could participate in that, but I think that's enough for purposes of catching up. That's where we were last time.
Okay, great, thank you.
I think that I just wanted to observe that the IPNI case study, I mean, Karen has been really helping me organize it, but there's been a real rising up of people to take roles, and I think it started with me just assigning them roles, and then they would say, like, I really don't know. Like Karen would say, I've never done this. I haven't done a whole lot about publishing, and then I kind of reduced their role, and then they grew into another one. So it's like, I don't know. It's we could suggest things as a body. We could suggest roles for people and say, what do you think about exploring this? I noticed that you were commenting on, flipped classrooms on the community, and.
Yeah, Charlotte, I was just thinking with the publishing, one thing that I noticed this morning is a lot of people stepped up and offered to do the photography, which I thought was great. And I think that a lot of people stepped up and offered to do that because suddenly, there was like, okay, there's the photographs have to be taken, and a lot of people said, oh wow, I'd love to do that.
Right.
Which I was overwhelmed with relief to see, because that's like one less thing.
Yeah.
But,
they and just putting a list of the things like on our wish list thing.
Yeah.
And people could grab them and say, like, and I put a thing, a button maker. I wanted a button maker so we could make empty buttons for the Boston Book Festival. And Elizabeth just took that without, it's so pedagogical. She took it without even, coming back to me and verifying it and everything, which drives me crazy, but people really want to do that. And then she just went and asked her circle for a button maker.
Well, I think part of the reason why people want to verify is perhaps they've been in other groups where they didn't do that and they were seriously castigated for not verifying, and it.
Are you thinking from experience?
Yeah, I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Also,
and people can feel like they're being castigated, and they aren't necessarily being castigated. They're just encountering someone who's completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, the other thing is that, I was thinking with the thing that I was doing last night, the spreadsheet, I did a lot of that incorrectly because I didn't want to bother and double check. And so I'm redoing this morning. I was redoing a lot of the stuff that I did because last night I was doing it incorrectly, and that was because I wasn't verifying. So I think another reason why people don't verify is because or people do want to verify is because they've had experience of doing things incorrectly for a long period of time and then having to redo them. So
yeah, and then I mean what I think about, and I know this isn't universal, but I think about if I'm doing something inefficiently or incorrectly, and I learn a new way, an efficient and correct way of doing it, then I kind of I try and think of it as being, even a deeper learning experience.
Yeah, no, it is. That's very true.
But I have to be mindful to make myself think that, and also be mindful of people when they're asking to verify whether what they're doing is correct. That I'm not like using a tone of voice that it sort of communicates exasperation, and I know I can do that.
Hey, Miguel. So one of our co-authors. I don't know if we've had you on the Hangout before, Miguel. I recognize your picture from Google+. But anyway, hi, welcome. Bienvenidos a our Hangout. And
Miguel, hi.
We're getting a pretty much 50-50 on Spanish English, so feel free to use either language, I guess.
And somebody can kind of wrap it up for the non-Spanish speakers if they're speaking Spanish.
Don't worry about me. Please.
Okay. All right then. But it's pretty cool. We have got a lot more. We're starting to get, and we're going to pretty soon get a lot more traction on Spanish with this stuff that Paola is publishing in Argentina. Anyway, the thing I was going to say, Charlotte, about the IPNI thing is that you guys have enough pull or traction or something with people there that that you're in the process of they're jumping in and joining and doing stuff. Whereas I think here in Peeragogy, in the Peeragogy project, we're not there yet. So that's what I was saying here. We're at this. We're still thinking about what we're good at and what we're learning and what we're getting better at, and outlining that. But I was hoping eventually we'd start to get some sign-ups around specific tasks. And I gotta say, this is, like, for me where the rubber hits the road is on GitHub. And if you look, I've been hitting the road a lot. Paola, look at this. Paola is just jumping into translations and misspellings. So that's so awesome.
I just need I need a regular series, like 4 sessions of, what the fuck do I do on GitHub?
All right, so we need to make like live sessions for a whole month or something.
Yeah, and it's just like we're gonna go there and we'll all be there and watch it,
Well, apparently we can follow along with Paula.
Let's put our creed up there. How about we put the creed up there?
We could put the creed there and switch and start editing it there. Absolutely, good idea.
The heck with this Google Drive stuff.
Yeah. Wow. The transformation. So that sounds great. Laura, how are you doing?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late.
Hi, Laura.
Go to the crowd. Last time you had to leave at this time. Is that like a typical every Monday you've got to leave, or?
Every other Monday.
Every other Monday.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so it won't be for another month, though, as it just happens.
Okay, cool. Nice donkey you got over there. So yeah, so I like that idea. It's taking a minute to get it sorted out. Is there any other updates or questions about stuff? Because that was the update on last week.
I'm hearing interference from someone.
Sound problem. I think it's Julia. I'm sorry, Julia. Do you want to type? Julia, do you want to type your question? We just can't hear a thing. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of curious about the paper that Charlotte and Charlie are going to present this weekend in Pittsburgh, is it, Charlotte?
Yeah, it's the Pattern Language of Programs Conference. And I just realized Splash and Plop are related.
Who knew? Yes, first is Splash, then
What is
Plop.
Splash?
Plop, Splash.
Splash is like the bigger conference, and Plop is like the little conference.
Oh.
Jeez, I never realized that.
Plop and Splash, yeah.
Okay.
And how are they related?
I don't know. You're asking difficult questions.
Oh, I just realized it. My heavens, I'm quite curious.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up. I mean, they're expecting us to be like working night and day, I think, because we're supposed to come up with a revised paper by Sunday.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. But they did switch our sessions because I have to leave Friday at 5, and they had us at 4.
Oh.
So my flight is at 5, so they put us earlier in the day.
Can you see this, Karen?
Yep.
So there's a bunch of conferences. Plop is part of Splash.
I see.
Splash.
Okay.
I don't know what it stands for. Systems Programming Languages and Application Software for Humanity.
Oh my heavens, that's a mouthful.
And
I know
Plop,
there's.
Pattern Languages of Programs.
I see. I see. Okay.
If you go to one, then you can go to all of them and see all of these talks.
Do you want to?
Time day for an entire week. Here's one with a monkey. It's crazy. Here's the whole schedule. Like this.
That was great. Wow. I see. So Plop is so there's this massive conference, right, this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Plop is part of that then.
Right.
I see. I see how that works. Wow. Cool.
And the program, we have to read all these papers in our writing group, and we work with this writing group throughout the conference, and then we revise our paper. And there's some pretty interesting papers in our group. I started reading them last night. I think they're on that accepted papers, yeah. And we're in the there's riverhounds, penguins. We're in the panthers.
It's a little bit like a preschool. In fact, I think my little sister's preschool had penguins and panther group.
And we had manatees.
Manatees. Well, pirates. Yes, it's basically like a preschool for grown-ups. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, we're the last one.
I put the chat. Yeah, I put the chat up.
Cool.
I mean, I looked at them. I mean, I'm not a academic, but they're like. I mean, I thought ours was just as good as any of the others.
Yeah, I don't think these are like rejected papers. I think ours is actually really, really good. I read 2 of the other ones. I think ours is like better than.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I really am looking forward to learning a lot more about it and what people think. I mean, this is a bunch of people that are just sort of thrown together. I guess maybe some of them know each other. I don't know anyone else here, but
you're soon to know all of them really well.
I think it sounds like that we have games. We're hiking up a cliff or something, and.
Wow, great.
I don't know.
Charlie's only tentatively going, so maybe.
Charlie is now confirmed that he's going.
Oh, good. So at least you'll have some company.
Yeah, we have a hotel that is nearby, but he doesn't. I mean, we kind of wanted to find, or he wanted to find a less expensive one. And I mean, I don't know who these people are. They can afford all this. Like the conference registration is $600, and then there's transportation, and a hotel is a couple $100 a night.
It's expensive.
I know.
So we need to like sort that out. You see, that's what this document. Although it seems like we're just milling around doing nothing, we should actually sort these issues out.
Yeah, so. I mean, I don't mind paying my way, and then hoping for the best at some point with the book sales and stuff. if we could get the books in shape to sell, I can. They're hosting a book launch party for us. So at the reception.
Great.
Yeah, so we just need some books to sell.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Anytime.
Yeah, I mean, when we get off of here, I'm going to call the printer and see if I can get them to print one with Plop copy or something on the top.
That would be so awesome.
Or a ploppy, maybe.
And in the spirit of peeragogy, it's probably too late now, but there's always Airbnb, and it tends to be a lot less expensive, a lot nicer than hotels.
Yeah, I know. And it's
peeragogical.
Yeah.
I know. I've been on the Airbnb and been on couch surfing too, and for the IBPA conference in April in Austin, and it was an interesting experience. I mean, it's not for everyone, but.
Actually, for next year, why don't we organize an unconference at the same site as Plop and do the host it all through Airbnb as we stay and drive the price down to like $5?
Yeah, I mean it's
a great idea.
yeah, exactly. It's weird that it would be at such a kind of I don't know if it's always at a really traditional conference setting, but. Maybe it's more traditional than I think.
Well, the thing is, if you're paid by a university, then you often don't care because the university will pay for it. If you're paid by a big company, then maybe you don't care. But little companies, yes. And like I think see if you can bring it up discreetly with somebody at a because it's a really good question. How do they afford it?
And then they want you to come on. Well, we have the boot camp on Friday, so that's all day. Charlie's going to miss that, but I'm going. And so then there's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and they're not done till 5:30 on Monday.
Yeah, they're gonna squeeze every last little bit of pattern.
Yeah.
Before you're done.
I guess it's more of a, like you said, people from a university don't have a, I'm just kind of like my orbit is going like this. And I'm going to buy Plop, and I'm going.
Yeah, you'll probably come back every year from now on, though. That's the thing. You're going to get hooked.
I might, yeah.
So I left you notes on a couple of the papers, but it's too bad you're not taking the train. That's the only way you would have time to read all of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much better in Europe and the UK, though. The train here is just a little. Well,
I wouldn't mind taking the train, but I don't think Pittsburgh has a real direct line from Boston.
You'd have to go to Philadelphia and change.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Pennsylvania Central Station.
Oh yeah.
Penn Station.
And then isn't there a Pittsburgh thing in a Monopoly game?
Don't know. That's some deep trivia for you. I don't know. So okay, but. Enough of this Plop stuff. I'm going to even stop screen sharing. So we've got these two documents. Here, wait, where am I? I'm reappearing here. Here I am. So we've got these two documents. We've got some great people here. What are we going to do next? I think so Plop is like next week. Is that right?
I leave Thursday.
Next Monday, you're going to be in the thick of it.
Well, yeah. We're going to be finishing up.
Yeah. So we've got this great document, but we're probably not going to do much with it this time because we didn't have the oomph to get going this time. This is a review session, I think. But okay, but Laura just launched her book. Is that true? Brand new.
Yeah, I just had my book come out last Friday, and I cited peeragogy in it. So that's.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's of course not. I don't know if it was the version 3.0 or the one before that, but yeah, at the bottom of, if I had it here, I'd show you. At the bottom of one of the pages, it's like further resources for co-learning, and it's got a little box, and it says, look up the Peeragogy Handbook. It can be accessed at this, and I put the whole web address up there. So on one of those boxes of documents, it's like, how do we widen it out and get more people involved, and lowering the barriers to participation, encouraging people to set up. So that's, before I started joining these, obviously. That was one of the things.
Cool.
I think it's just important, get it out there.
Yeah, that's great. What's the title of the book and what's it about?
It's called Fostering Self-Efficacy in Higher Education Students. It's kind of a very boring title, but it's about if you self-belief. If you believe in what you're going to do, you're going to do it, and how to help people, in particular students, do that. And starting from the premise that we don't often teach the same things that we assess and give people the skills they're going to use out there. And you know, if you go into a new course, how do you know what you're supposed to do, and how are you supposed to be confident, and how can the teacher help? And there are lots of little ways that you through everyday interaction where you can do things that influence and build these beliefs in students. So then you'll know whenever you're confident in what you're going to do, you go do it. You find better ways. You're more resilient. You actually achieve more. It's happier. Everybody works together.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Wow, great.
Yeah, I totally want to read it. And you are in touch with David Preston.
Yeah.
You're one of the few people who David Preston.
Yeah.
He speaks only to Laura. Well, tell David. No, you don't have to tell me anything. But I was just thinking, like, I guess I was thinking about you guys today. I was thinking about your book is just out, and I was looking up David's that he's starting a foundation. So I looked that up, and he's thinking open source learning. They want to write a book. It's like,
yeah, we're starting a foundation. I'm in that.
Either you want to write a book or start a foundation. Well, we got a book, but we don't have a foundation. So
yeah.
What I was wondering is, like, what can we really offer? Like, and this is a good question for you. And if David was here, or if you pass along to him, what can we offer to you or David or some of the folks in your foundation or some of your clients or colleagues or whatever? Because, you know, I'm thinking, and I wrote to you before, like, we could apply for a grant, but, like, what would we do?
Yeah.
You know, and who would we, on behalf of who would we apply, and so forth. But even forget about that. That's an intermediate step. What would we do? What's the point of all this stuff? And I feel like it is exciting and it is interesting and it's great to cite in a footnote or an endnote or even a whole paragraph, whatever. Peeragogy.
I know what the point is. I've been trying to tell you guys this whole time.
Shut up. What's the point?
The point is that we're developing these techniques to apply in real world, in our own experience, and in our own companies and organizations. That's what I'm doing. I mean, not exclusively, but it's stuff that works in the real world, in our, like, practical lives.
Okay. Then maybe I think I need to work harder to apply it in my own life and practical.
Well, I mean, it's not the only thing that's fun about it or useful about it, but
yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're totally right. But then the next step is, after it's already embedded in, like, what you do, is to get it across to other people. So that's the
and that's why I keep thinking, you know, when we're talking, I keep thinking, what did I do with the IPNI that is making it work now, or what's not making it work, or what with my church group or my coffee house concerts, or, you know, like, why did that person decide to collaborate, or and it's something.
That's a really good point. I think, like, that would be a good. We should type that quote out for Howard when he was asking, like, what is patterns? Like, that's patterns for sure. Like, you know, what is it? Can we figure it out? What made it work or not work?
Yeah, and like this morning, I have been, for weeks, I have been saying to the people who are involved in the Boston Book Festival, I've been saying, I'm having a hangout every morning, and I posted it on, you know, a common area so that they wouldn't get overwhelmed with emails. And nobody comes on, nobody, until today. I directly emailed everyone that signed up for the Boston Book Festival exhibit. And they come on, and we have this amazing session. And we were talking about how, you know, something we do and paying it forward helps someone else sell their books, and, you know, it was pretty cool. And it was because I I had this regular thing. People had it in their minds. They kept seeing this thing and didn't act on it because it was too intimidating or scary or they were too busy or something. And then they get this direct email, and all the other stuff is informing it. All the other awareness that they have, and I gave them a really simple way to get involved. One line that they had to click, and that was all. They didn't have to figure out any plugins or anything. And 5 or 6 people came on, which is huge.
So no plugins? How did you manage that?
I don't know. I just made it an open session, and it's not like a hangout on the air like this. It's not recorded.
Oh, not recorded.
So the unrecorded ones you can share publicly. You want to be careful about that, but if you limit the exposure of the URL and watch who's jumping on, then you can put it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on a page that only the participants could access.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Well, and today, by the way, we have is it 8 people here? If we had 2 more people, this would be full. So we are pretty much nearly saturated with people in these kinds of hangouts.
And I think that making the book, and I feel like as a publisher, I'm sort of responsible for, helping people see what the process is and how they can help. But making the book is one thing, and then applying it on our individual, like Charlie had done with his English language learning people. And I don't know, you were talking about your community organization, your farmer's market or something at one point.
Yeah, I'm going to go over there at 7:30, so I'll have to report back to you, see if
just take some notes and see where the pedagogical patterns come out when you're in there, when you're there. They're everywhere, the patterns.
But I got to tell you, I'm muted. I'm so proud of Paola right now, and she's not even here to celebrate. Yeah. We'll have to celebrate her next week.
Yeah.
So if you see her, tell her making that document was amazing, and she translated that whole thing in a day. Literally, we gave her a day of lead time. She did a ton of work, and she has these 2 commits on GitHub. So I really want to celebrate that because
Thanks, very motivating.
Very motivating. He does that. Look at that. Yay, Paul. So yeah, and I'm totally happy to do a GitHub session with it can be next week. We can just say next week. Although Charlotte, you'll be in the middle of your session, so we can't do it maybe with Charlotte.
No, it'll be over the weekend, so I don't care. As long as I.
Well, you'll be on an airplane. I think you'll be on an airplane or something on next Monday. But we can do a GitHub thing over the weekend as well. That's fine. And for anyone who's here who isn't yet on this GitHub, let me show you where to go. Peeragogy. We've got an organization. So unless you're Alex, Gagnon, Charlie, Charlotte, Doug, Fabrizio, Joe, John Blossom, Paola, or Lisa, you don't have an account there yet, and you need to get one. I can invite you. Let's see. I can invite you, but you need a GitHub username. So what you really need is to go to github.com, and if you're not logged in, then you'll get a screen like that. And if you pick a username and email and send that information to me, I will shortly send you a invite. So you just log in, and I will send you an invite so you can join in here. And this is, if you edit these pages, right here, introduction, the changes you make to these pages show up live on peeragogy.org. So this is our live backend. It's like a wiki, basically. And just to demo it, all you do is you click this thing that looks like a pencil, and you start making changes. If you've edited any wiki, it's the same thing. You do this, you say, I've changed something. It won't let me because I haven't made a change. It's very smart. It's smarter than
even a space can be a change.
Yeah. I changed something minor. Commit changes. There we go. Now I've done that, and if you go here, now look, I'm showing up right next to Paula. So soon I'm going to be as famous as she is. It's going to take so, and I don't know what she was saying here about translations, but we had this idea to use GitHub for translations. So for those on the Spanish language team, there's this idea because you get these side-by-side things that we could do a line-by-line translation, make a fork, make a Spanish version. I see Miguel nodding. So if you guys want to work on a Spanish version and we can motivate Paula, we'll put that Spanish thing on there right next to this one, right next to the other one, and we'll have both, and we can have use them as seed material. It's a lot of work, and like every time we tried to do some translations before, we were translating a moving target, and that was not fun.
Well, let's do it. This is a great solution. I mean, just if we can just do it bit by bit, and when something changes on the left, someone is triggered on the right to make the translation.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because you see this list of changes, and it's not every day something is changing. I mean,
right.
You
and
know,
some stuff is 3 years, no change. You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And like, and there will be ways to compress all of this, to compress this section here down into one packet. You know, because like here, I'm sure I didn't do much. Well, okay, I did a little bit here. But yeah, that would be possible. Anyway, so maybe that's a worthwhile goal. I think it is. I mean, I think it's definitely a worthwhile goal to get people using it.
And it's also a good way to get people who can't do the Hangouts effectively to participate, and I think we should be really mindful of acknowledging their work because they won't be as visible as we are.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
and that's a big thing with people, you know? I mean, you don't have to have, you know, trumpets, but it's good to be acknowledged.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so I'm acknowledging I've done too much here. I've done so much here. I think I felt like I should leave because
no, please, no, don't. It's just helpful what you've done.
Just tell us when you're going on, and we can watch you or something.
That's the thought. Okay, but yeah, I think let's make a GitHub session. Let's get everybody's name showing up on this page, and then we'll see just how easy it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, and this is also where the code is stored in here someplace too.
I'd like to get some of these Spanish-speaking people to translate some of my books to publish in
Mexico, in Spain.
Or South America.
Put out a call. Maybe we get the students with abilities in Spanish. You get some student team.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
I don't recommend that because students has not enough vocabulary and grammar to translate. Maybe we cannot speak in English properly, but we can translate very well here in the university. And Paula, the team is very good with translation.
Paula is excellent. I think she did try to get some students working on it. I think as you were saying, it wasn't going very well. Hello, Fred. We've got someone coming in the last couple of minutes, I think, of the Hangout today.
Yeah, he's our string games person. Now, how many string games experts do you know?
Just one.
Just one, Fred.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
My class just went to lunch, so I have the barest 2 minutes until you guys are supposed to be over, right? Or is it continuing?
We don't have a set deadline. Probably people will go in not too long. But how are you doing? Next time, bring your class. I won't show them that I'm drinking beer.
Okay. I'm doing great. This is really like this impossible dream come true, that I get to teach string full time.
It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
That's so great. I want to move out there to California and take your class.
Are you making videos of that or anything?
I have a few videos, but I haven't actually done a lot of video with the class as a whole. I'm in my last 3 weeks of this residency, and then the other really exciting thing for me, I just got a notice on Friday that there's another school where they're missing an art teacher, and they're going to let me do a long-term sub, and I'll do the same thing, hopefully, and get another 2-month residency.
Oh, great! Congratulations.
Where are you in California? We got some other people.
I'm in Watsonville, just between Santa Cruz and Monterey.
Those words sound familiar to me. I know where Monterey is.
Yeah, south of San Francisco, about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Do you surf in Santa Cruz, Fred?
I don't. My son does.
Oh.
Both of my sons do, but I've done body surfing, but not for a long time.
Sounds
So
like
please.
I would love to tune in by video. It sounds like it'll be a while before I get out there in person, but.
All right. Well, I don't know if I can take you surfing, but I can certainly take you into a string class with me.
That sounds awesome. I'd love to see that. Yeah, especially if you're in your last 3 weeks, document that and let us know how it's shaping up. That's a great time to make a video.
Yeah, it's one of the exciting things is getting sort of peeragogy principles going with first, second, and third graders.
Yes.
You know, okay, who's a help teach others that, and really getting kids to use their rhizomatic connections and learn from each other. And I always start the beginning of each session with who has some stories to share about what you learned or taught with your family at home over the weekend or with your friends.
Great.
I almost always get several really neat stories.
Cool.
Wow, Fred, that's brilliant. That's a great idea.
That's what I'm talking about with our stuff, too. I mean, it's a parallel thing. You know, when you're going about your activities, find the pedagogical patterns that relate to what you're doing. I mean, it's kind of a fun mindfulness exercise.
So here's the thing. Here's the SWATs, learning with student abilities in technology. Check it out. Right, if you haven't read this one, this is Miguel's chapter in the handbook. It's
great. I will definitely go and look at that. That looks totally appropriate to what I'm doing. That's great.
Have a look. Yeah, we've got a lot of people here who do classroom teaching. It seems like we're suddenly I'm realizing that we're swamped with loads of teaching.
Yep. It's great. Fred, I love what you were just talking about with the little kids.
One of the things, I mentioned sharing with technology. One of the things I've been working on figuring out how to explore is getting the kids to relate string games to weaving and sewing, and to realize that when we're doing string games, we're essentially using our fingers as a kind of loom, and to associate the loom concept. Figured out yet, but I'm working on it.
Great.
Yeah, that's really cool. You know, the original programming was done with looms as well, with punch cards. They had punch cards for looms a long time before they had punch cards for computers. So that's really interesting.
So is this chapter posted already?
Yes, it is. I can send over the link, but yeah, if you go to peeragogy.org/swats.html, you'll see that chapter.
Great.
And I've been doing some work on the look and feel. So parts of the website are looking pretty good. That's due to Fabrizio's.
All right.
Whoa, someone's got a printer or an organ.
I think it's a didgeridoo.
That was the bell in my classroom.
Oh, actually, it's kind of soothing. I want one around my house. We've got another one of them.
I'm gonna check out. Actually, I have to go tie strings for my next class.
Sounds
Right.
great.
Thank you guys. I'm
Nice
glad
to
I
see
could
you.
check in for a minute.
That's
Thanks.
great. Next time, feel free to bring your students. It's great. And
Yeah.
yeah, anytime, drop in.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Fred.
Wow, we had like nearly a full house. I think that hasn't happened since Howard was interviewing us. So, all right. So yeah, the to-dos, GitHub. Charlotte's going to a conference. Miguel, I'm really glad you came. Come
Yeah.
back. That sounds good. We'll try to do it again. That's so super. Anyone else? Any other action items or report backs? Last things? Karen, what are you up to? You're making notes.
I'm doing several things at the same time. Yeah, I'm helping Charlotte get ready for the Boston Book Festival this weekend, and I am learning leaps and bounds about Google Forms and Google Drive and spreadsheets and Excel, and it's really exciting. There are times when I try her patience and mine, but Zoe the dog is around, and
Zoe.
On-demand animal therapy. That's good.
Yeah.
It's been exciting to be a part of IPNI, this publishing organization, just to watch people work together. Google Drive is like a totally new thing for me, and working on shared documents at that level is it's amazing. It's really cool.
Time for you guys to start writing up your IPNI case study then, because it's all.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have too many other things going on.
After the Boston Book Festival.
Yeah, after that. Yeah, I did give you the back end to the Peeragogy sign up form, where I think many of you have now signed up. So thank you. I think everyone has signed up there except me. So that's great.
What are you talking about? Is that
the one the are you interested in participating in version 3 of the book form?
Right. Oh, the form that was on the
I kind of I gave Karen the back end just because I thought it might be.
Oh, right. Oh, to
and I didn't know if I did it correctly or not. I was like, oh my gosh. I was sitting in my favorite cafe. There's a brilliant cafe here in Arlington, and doing it. And then after I sent it, it was like, I don't like what I wrote.
Well, you did it twice. You can always do it again, I guess. But no, I think just take the stuff out of there and keep revising it on this. So my action items are to put these documents that we've been looking at onto the GitHub, and next time we'll do a GitHub session on that. So
that would be great. That would be cool.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming on. I'm going to go off, get ready for my 7:30 meeting. Ciao.
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 Hasta más pronto, Miguel.
And
hasta luego. Gracias por
Hasta
todo.
Adiós.
Gracias por enseñar mi introducción. My introduction. Thank you very much. Bye.
See you next time, I hope.
See you next time.
Bring beers for everyone next time.
Not for you, Charlotte.
No.
For you, penny royalty. I don't know what.
Oh, I don't deserve it.
This is awesome. Check this out. West of East Border.
Wow.
Okay, so with that endorsement,
God, that looks
I'm actually getting paid by Guinness to broadcast all this.
That's how we can finance our
That's how we can do it.
Oh my God, Guinness is so good.
Sponsorship, yeah, it is good. Anyway, so be seeing y'all next time. I'm going to stop the broadcast. I'm going to copy the chat as I often do, paste it into the email, send it around, etc., etc.
Okay, great.